Well, I played them last year. A lot of similar guys. Great program. Not too far removed from regionals and super regionals. Just a very solid baseball team can pitch, and we're going to have our hands full. So we're going to have to play a lot better than we have been playing.
Coach, the story of this year has been consistency. What did you see last weekend, especially in that third game, that gives you kind of an outlook for consistency going forward?
Well, we've been consistently inconsistent, so we've got that going for us. But again, we haven't played all around the type of baseball that we're capable of playing. Regardless of playing a quality schedule, just we're not worried about that. Never have been, never will be. But we just haven't played like we can. We made too many errors. We've had bad walks, not finishing pitches, obviously not swinging the bat like we can. But again, I saw some good signs on Sunday in less than ideal conditions. Guys at the plate were really battling with 2 strikes. Thought that was good. Jake did a great job on the mound defensively. I thought we played very, very solid. So it's there. It's just a matter of we just got to get on a roll here and play consistently well.
When you have 5 days off between games, how do you stay sharp? What's been maybe the emphasis with this extra time?
Not a terrible time to have some time off, just to clean up a few things, get back to the fundamentals of hitting, let a couple guys maybe clean their heads a little bit, just, kind of reset. It was good to have that Sunday game to get a good feeling in your stomach for the week. But our guys are working hard. The effort's there. We just got to get their emotions in control and just go out there and just really focus on playing our kind of baseball.
Do you have a chance to reassess any injuries or guys healing up or anything like that?
Cronenbold, his back still bothering him a little bit. He feels better. He'll start moving around a little bit today. Availability this weekend, we'll have to see. He will make the road trip, though. Paul Tillotson in the Arkansas game did injure his shoulder and had surgery yesterday, so he'll be out for the rest of the season.
We talked to Mojo here right before he came out. What have you seen from him that's impressed you so far this season, especially as a freshman coming into that role?
Well, quality at bats. I think he just picks things up really quick, as far as what a pitcher's trying to do to him. He doesn't seem to get out the same way 2 times in a row. Just a real good idea of who he is at the plate. Defensively, he works hard. And on the bases, just some of the things that we incorporate in different types of the game, different parts of the game. You don't have to tell the guy more than one time. He just really absorbs the information and is able to go out there and it translates in a game. Not to mention he's a pretty good competitor, and that's a good place to start.
Is that something you saw in high school? I mean, when you look at him, he's only 5'7", so I would think that he'd get overlooked a little bit. But
players make plays, and you watch. He just kind of had a flair for the dramatic when he was in high school. He just come up with a big hit or a big home run, or just seemed to always be in the mix of the action when they were having success. So, it's one of those things. You see a guy that wants to be a Husker, wants to be here, wants to battle for a spot, and he goes out, and that's why we have open competition every year. So guys can step up, and he's done more than step up so far.
Is he one of those guys in fall that was really battling for a roster spot? Or?
Oh, probably not that far.
Okay.
But he definitely, as far as coming in and being a freshman, you're looking ahead, maybe not thinking you're going to pencil him in every day, but that's why I keep an open mind. You just never know what's going to get thrown at you. Or, guys are going to get injured, guys don't play well, whatever it is, and that's why we kind of have that same thing every fall, and he's a perfect example of how it can work out well.
Do you take anything from that College of Charleston series last year, whether that be coaching style or anything going into this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, there was a first coach. I mean, he was the pitching coach, and then it was his first year as head coach last year, so that was his first series. We have a good idea, how they're going to go about their business. But from what happened, we had a lot of new guys on the mound, and it was an interesting weekend. We come out and shut them out the first weekend, and you're feeling pretty good about yourself. And then we haven't played defense at the highest level as we normally are capable of doing on the mound. Again, we're just maybe losing focus a little bit and having some walks and situations against guys that we feel like we should be able to get out. And then at the plate, you're starting to see guys starting to swing a little bit better. I'm seeing better at bats. I'm seeing better approaches. That now let's get some good weather. Let's get going a little bit and get these guys rolling. But it's not good right now. We were not good offensively, but like I said on Sunday, I thought I saw some very good at bats, guys battling, especially with 2 strikes, and that's a good sign.
What's the mentality of the team right now? How are they feeling, I guess, coming off that Western Carolina series?
They're fine. These boys come to work every day. It's not a lack of effort. It's probably, if anything, trying too hard, and especially early in the weekends. they're excited, adrenaline's pumping, and being able to control that. We haven't played super well out of the gate on weekends, and sometimes you'll get that early in the season, but definitely something we focus on and talk about, and make a few adjustments to try and get them moving around a little bit more, maybe get some of that nervous energy out of there. But I'm very confident in this group of guys. I like how they're going about their business, and you're starting to see some of the improvements. Like we would like it earlier, sure, but just every year is going to be a little bit differently, go a little differently. So right now we just got to go out there and play our game.
Jake Hohensee was kind of sharing his story with us a little bit about how he's come back. I mean, can you maybe just describe kind of his ascension coming back from that to being a Friday starter for you guys now?
Yeah, we saw. I mean, we saw when he first got here. He was in the pen, and again, pitched with a lot of adrenaline, good stuff, and just was probably not in a starter type of role where he could command it. And then when he, the year he got hurt, he was out of the pen, and we saw him against UNLV, and it was electric. And unfortunately, he had the injury. And now coming back, it's just a guy coming back from Tommy John. Once a week's a good thing for him. So we get him on his recovery. We get him on his weightlifting routine. We get him on his pen routine so we can really control when he's going to throw. Out of the bullpen, if you're throwing twice a weekend, getting up and down, it's a different schedule. So we've liked how it's played out. And he's got a great mentality. Now it's just a matter of harnessing it and controlling it early on in games.
Did you know he'd be one of those guys in the spring or last fall? Or I guess when did that kind of...
Yeah, I mean, we've thought that all along. And he's a great competitor, and he didn't back away from any challenges out of the pen when he was first throwing here, and we've always liked his stuff because he can throw multiple pitches for strikes, and he can throw strikes in his sleep. And he's just early on now. I think he's just going through some of the normal stuff you would when you miss that much time. But again, like I said, at the end of his last start, you started to see it kind of come together. He probably got a little tired and started not trying to throw as hard. It was in control of himself, and really mixed his pitch as well. So that's we're just going to keep rolling him out there.
You said the year that he was hurt, he was kind of gutting through it, and maybe not being totally honest about kind of how he was feeling. I mean, did it come to a point that year where you're looking at velocity numbers and things like that, and look, what's going on here?
Well, we knew something was up after that weekend at UNLV. We knew that something was wrong, and he came back and his velocity was way down, but his changeup was so good that he just kept getting people out. And then it was at Illinois where he threw, and you could tell it was like, okay, it's he's gone as far as he could. And at that point, if he wants to throw it, you're that late into it, he's probably going to miss the next year anyway. So if he wants to try and throw, you let him do it. And he's just a battler for going and trying to pitch through it, and actually having some pretty good success. So that's the kind of kid he is, and now hopefully we can keep him healthy and have that type of mentality with his best stuff.
Obviously, you don't want him to miss a year. Is he a different pitcher mentally at all for having sat out and kind of watched games from a different perspective?
If he says he does, maybe, but I thought he was pretty mentally strong in the first place. So he's got a little edge to him. He's got a lot of adrenaline, a lot of competitiveness, and that's what you want to have on a Friday night.
Who do you like to make the Final Four?
Basketball? You're asking the wrong guy. I don't know anything about that stuff.
What about hockey? You're a hockey player.
I'm not qualified to bring that stuff up, so it's I'm not going to get out there and make any opinions on stuff that I have no clue what I'm talking about.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Darin.
Yeah.